Hello, Random. You first batter up. First one up. Okay, let me see if you hear me okay and the resolution is okay. Random says, I just wanted to say you have helped me to almost cure my HOCD completely. Oh, good. HOCD is nothing to be scared about. It's just part of the malfunction of the brain that comes and goes and could come and stay for a while. And when you ignore it, you retrain the brain, it goes away. And eventually it finds its balance. And if it ever shows up again, you're not frightened by it. You know what it is. You know it's a glitch. You know it's a malfunction. So you just, you know, go by your business. And Jeffrey says, hear you loud and clear, Mariano. Thank you very much for letting me know that. Jeff says, male 34, Toronto. Okay, Toronto. How you guys doing there? Hope things are a little bit better. Ashish says, is OCD curable? Yeah, why not? It's the way you have decided to believe something. Otherwise, it's nothing but a belief, a thought. So you can, if you understand the mechanism of it through your behavior, whether it's a actual behavioral thing like checking the stove or locking the door or turning the light switch off and on a million times, or it's a mental issue such as the other subsets of OCD. Through education and learning what the glitch of the signaling system of the brain is, how it works, how it malfunctions, then you retrain your brain and you get over it. I had all kinds of it. So, a live example. And she says, how can I contact you, sir? I explained it clearly in one of the comments you made. You need to go to my site, mind@sixtruth.com, make an appointment for a Skype chat. And when you make a 1 hour appointment, and I will add another hour to it, that session will be 2 hours. So we'll have ample time to discuss what's concerning you. Again, we are once a week having this live stream, but somehow we don't get the word across. I guess YouTube is not helpful to us somehow. We only have 6 people here. Usually, I've seen some other channels when they have live stream, 1,000 people suddenly within a few minutes show up. We don't seem to be getting that kind of a exposure. I, for the life of me, I don't know why. Sure, Ashish. Here it is. Yeah, random. I thought so too. So I brought it up with YouTube. I've had many emails back and forth, and it's all the same regular nonsense that, oh, the algorithm works this way, and you got to do the thumbnails, and you got to do this. We try to make sure all of our creators, get this and just regular pre-prepared responses. And we have Sid from Estonia says, "Can I say I love you?" Yes, and I can say I love you back. Says, "So good to see you, and I feel much better now. Glad, delighted to hear that. Delighted to hear that, Sid. You deserve it. You're a great guy." All right. So, what else do we have here? Now, with all your wisdom, you guys, you haven't been able to solve the dilemma of why we are not getting exposure on YouTube. I mean, my own channel has 23,000 subscribers. So out of 23,000, don't tell me there's only 6 people who got the notification that we're live, you know? So something is screwy here. And I don't know. I don't know. You're quite welcome, Sid. My pleasure. And if we were actually shadow banned, the question is why? Why would we be shadow banned? What do we say here that is out of the ordinary? Last night we had a we had a short live stream as well, about 8 o'clock, I think. I started. It was about an hour and a half. So through yesterday, doing some trimming and sitting, I think I was sitting for too long, and so got to get some moving going on. Random says, Mayron, if you have a Instagram or Facebook page, I do. This is being broadcast on Facebook right now. Dual live stream, and I do have an Instagram. Says then every time when you go live, make sure you put the link to the live there, and I would suggest you get some catchy thumbnails on your videos and lives. Yeah, but the catchy thumbnail can only be catchy for so long. I have good thumbnails for every video that Olga in Russia makes it for me, and she sends it over. And every time she sends them, like 20 batch of 20, and I upload them quickly. And the titles, it's realistic titles. I can't, just say nonsense and then get people coming in as irrelevant title. I mean, I understand what you're saying, and definitely those thumbnails, if they're racy and they're all these, raunchy type of things, they catch the eye. But I don't know. I guess I just don't believe in that. And I have an Instagram called Mind Seeks. And there is my Texan love is here. Says, hello, Maron, female 35 Texas. Howdy. Howdy, partner. Good of you to join us. And then we have, yeah, so somehow I got to figure out and I can't figure it. I don't have that knowledge. No, what makes it go? Every month, I have something about 200 subscriber, new subscriber, but that's not enough. That's not the way it should be. And every time I have a live stream, it's like this, 7, and maximum it goes, if it's really someday that everybody is available, 30. But as I mentioned, I've seen other channels that really, they come on and within a few minutes is like 1,400 people. There is something not necessarily jiving properly. I don't know. It's what is going on. How many of you guys got a notification today? Or you just knew it? Or do you get notification? Now, please don't all of you speak at the same time, one at a time. Why are you so silent? What the hell are you guys doing? We're waiting for tea or something? Garçon, un thé, s'il vous plaît. Au citron. Random says, I got a notification. Oh, that's good. Ross is here. Says, hey, Mehran, male 32 UK. I've still been speaking to the girl from another country in Europe, fairly close to mine. Close to yours? France? And she is going to holiday next week, though, and I'm a bit anxious that she might be going with some guy, some boy, that she might get with another guy on holiday there. When we spoke, everything is great, but I feel I'm more invested in her than she is in me. What should I do? Well, then understand the human biology. We men are built to just get excited and overexcited just by a whiff of a woman, let alone being in her presence. That's how our program is. We are programmed for procreation. You're a heterosexual male. This is your design. That's what your purpose is, to be here and love woman, pursue woman, see if you can get to know them and be intimate and procreate. So the idea that you're talking with someone over the internet, the brain doesn't understand that this is internet. It would still react the same way as if she's right near you, and because of the pictures and everything. It's all picture in here, right? You, through your eyes, you get the information, and then there's an image that you can make sense out of it, and then your brain reacts to it, and then makes your body react to it, because brain doesn't understand the difference between actuality or virtuality. Only when it's involved with some touch and all the senses come into the picture, then you feel differently, and you can be able to act on what you're intending or feeling. Otherwise, through your communication on Skype and all that, you're still getting the same kind of stimulations, because the brain doesn't have an understanding that this is virtual, this is not real. So don't react as if it's real. It doesn't. It just reacts as if it's real. And then you consider it as a relationship, as if it's really going somewhere and you're building on it. So that's the problem with long distance relationships, that eventually one of you or both of you will need to satisfy the needs of the body. As you know, our existence is in two forms. Two parts, at least two parts: mind and body. So your mind is being fulfilled by exchange of information and discussion, and you're being stimulated mentally, but your body is lacking, and it gets more and more interested to be fulfilling the rest of the story that your mind is involved in, which means eventually one of you or both of you going to find somebody nearby. That's the problem of the long distance. It's like you're priming each other for somebody else to come and enjoy it. I remember when I was much younger, when we would go to different sites of horses. I was into horseback riding, equestrian, very heavily, and I had one of the greatest instructors in the world, a graduate of the military school of riding in Saumur, France. And Colonel considered me like his son, and I really the only person in the world that I thought I could consider him as a father, because I loved my father, and I respected him, loved him. I was so close to him, and he knew the Colonel. They knew about it. They were friends, and so he was the only one that I would consider like a father. So when he would go to different villages or places where the local horses were there, I witnessed one of the times that the horses were mating. And the process was this: they would bring a horse, the mare was there, they would bring a horse who was somehow wouldn't be allowed to mate with the mare, but they would bring him in through his excitement and energy. The mare would get ready and start secreting the moistures and things that is prelude to the mating of the horses. Then they would take that horse that primed the mare away and bring the stallion, the one that was chosen to have his seed produce another colt. So what you guys do through these kind of long distance relationships, you're just priming each other for somebody else. Because you create that connection on the mental level, and you become, you go through the stage of the desire to be born. The senses come into the picture and all the other senses, then to the point that you start imagining yourselves with each other, and then it goes to intimacy and all that. So the desire for sex is created, but you can't reach each other physically. So what's going to be natural? You're going to be more prone and accepting of the next one that shows up, that is close nearby, within vicinity of your own city, and then maybe may not even be the right choice, but that's what's going to happen. So I can understand your anxiety about it, but you got to understand, well, what did you expect? Do you think she's going to be sitting around and praying in a convent waiting for you? Same thing you're going to do. You see another girl nearby and you get to know her. She's nice looking and all that. You're going to take her out, and eventually you see if you guys can get anywhere intimate. So be prepared for that. But don't jump into the conclusion just because this is one of the possibilities, because there are many cases that this doesn't happen and they're loyal to each other, they want to see each other, and so on and so forth. She may be going most probably with her girlfriends, and if she had a boyfriend or she was going with a guy, she wouldn't be talking to you. Why would she do that? Just think about it. If she's in a relationship to the point that she's actually going on a holiday with some guy, or a bunch of people, and some of them are guys in her city, why would she be talking to you? And you think she might hook up with somebody where she's going? That's hard. If it's the right girl, if it's a decent girl, she wouldn't be jumping to bed, John, on a few-day vacation with someone. I mean, women are not whores like we are. We could actually be enticed with the beauty of the girl, and we don't need to know anything else. She's perfect, just because physically she's gorgeous. And then we commit to her physically. Well, girls are not necessarily, of course, there are lots of the same kind there too among the women, but mostly they're not like that. They're more sophisticated. They need to know the person a little bit longer, see the qualities and check him out, and qualify him and all that. So it's a little bit more important of a event for them, intimacy, than it is, um, how it's programmed in us men, boys. So anyhow, so don't worry about it. If she does, she does. You can't hold it. You can't stop it, right? But worrying about it is not going to help you. Just going to make your mind go into the negative state and start conjuring up bullshit. I don't think if you really have a good conversation with her, she's going to do anything. I don't think she's, in my opinion, from what you told me, I don't think she has any intention of that. She may just, entertain the chatting up, because any woman who's free may enjoy other attention of other men. But the way you described to me that everything is good when you guys talking and all that, I doubt it. So don't start making stories, because you run with it and you're going to just bother yourself. Random says, I think you're shadow banned because sometimes you say some words in title that you should censor, like porn, etc. Well, among the 3,000 videos that I have, maybe two videos say, uh, should you be watching porn when you have HOC, when you've been attacked by HOCD, which then the monetization goes to yellow from green, and then I dispute it, and they come back says, "Oh, good news! After manually reviewing your video, it's suitable for any advertisement," so they take that off. So I don't think really that's the case, because I mean, for heaven's sake, the ones who have that word in it, they get a lot more views. If that would be considered as a clickbait, I would get thousands of views just because the word porn is there. But I don't get that many views on them either. I just don't think people see my channel or my videos, and I'm trying to figure out why and how. Val says, I didn't get a notification this time. I got the one for last time, though. Oh, you see, it's so screwy. There's no rhythm to it. Sometimes you get, sometimes you. And the whole thing is, even if you got it last time, how many people did we have last time? 22? Out of 23,000, you think 22 will show up if I have live? I don't think it even goes out. So that's where you guys come into the picture. Just flood it out if you can. I've got, one of those 1 minute videos. Find one of my 1 minute, 1.5 minute videos. It's an intro, and or shorter ones, and put it on your social medias and things like that, and help it out. And Subkist says, when will I regain my attraction to men? First, let me know your age and where you're tuning in from, dear. And welcome to the channel. You're the first time that I'm noticing your screen name. Zach Star 99, where have you been? It's been a long time. Zach says to say, hello, Zach. And Subkiss says, I'm 19. I'm from America. America is a big place. Which one? Where? North America, South America, which city, which country? Come on, help me out here. Throw me the bone. Give me the info. Dr. Evil here. Taylor Dural, Texas. Oh, another Texas girl. Okay, welcome. Listen, I have a video that I just I think, let me check, uploaded today, which has exact same uh, content you're looking for. Let's see, is it today or tomorrow? Ah, here it is. Will I ever get? Will you ever get your attraction to women back? Now, this works for the same way for the other way around as well. So here is, I'm going to put the link for you here. It's about 4 minutes. It's a short one because there's a lot more to talk about this, but this is the way that you can. Oops, what happened here? Sorry, let me try again. All right. All right. That's the one that is 4 minutes and addresses what you're looking for in a very condensed way. Hmm. Somehow I didn't go to YouTube. We'll try it again. Okay, now I did. So who have we missed here? Taylor Durai says, I'm 18, male from India. Hello there. Says, I don't know, I'm having HOCD or am I bi? Oh, okay. I'm really worried and anxious about that. I'm that having a doubt that can some that can some same-sex action can make you bi, or is it from birth, or is it a choice? I really can't understand the question because of the way it's written. So let me just say something like this. You're not a cow's milk, because if you have a cow's milk, if you let it sit out for a few days, then tomorrow or day after it will be sour milk. Yeah. And then a few days later, maybe about, I don't know, 5 6 or 1 or 2, it could be yogurt. Hmm? And then eventually it'll be like 40 50 days depending on what you do to it, it becomes cheese. You're not milk to do these changes by time. There is no changes happening in you. You're made the way you were made in the wombs of your mother. That's how it's going to be for the rest of your life. You're born heterosexual, you're going to be heterosexual the rest of your life. You're born homosexual, you're going to be homosexual the rest of your life. So you get that out of your head and stop being afraid of these thoughts. Because if thoughts had anything to do with your gender, had such power to change your gender, then where was thoughts when you were being manufactured in your mother's womb? Because at that time, brain wasn't even developed. There was no ability to speak or think, but yet your heart and liver, everything else, and genitalia and everything was being developed. So thinking and thought has nothing to do with how you are programmed and how what your gender is when you were being created in your mother's womb. Hmm? We lived for millions of years with the stem brain, reptilian brain, and we didn't have this sophisticated brain for millions of years. We lived like animals instinctively. We ran, we hunt, we slept, we had sex. Sexuality was clear, all hardwired, and everything was as it was. Until 40,000 years ago, our brain was developed into this sophisticated one, and we had the ability to think and speak. That's when the problems start. Hmm? You start having intrusive thoughts were creating, and then brain being so powerful, making the body react to thought, and then you would start learning who you are, what you are from thought. But before thought was added to you, you lived for a million years without this interaction or intervention or intrusion of the thought. So thought had nothing to do with how we were put together and built and created. For a million years, we were living and surviving, and everything was clear. Since the brain was added, this kind of brain was added to our existence, to our entity, then we started having all kind of benefits of being able to invent things and speak and communicate differently and learn things and accomplish things and design things, so on. But also had the negative things about it, which interferes and makes you believe certain things that they don't exist. So these are the things that you got to educate yourself. And I have links to many psychologists, psychotherapists. And your main focus on dealing with HOCD should be there is a separation between brain, you, and thoughts. If you understand this separation, this fact that is now beyond the shadow of doubt, has been proven by neuroscientists through neurosurgery and experimentals that many experts, such as Dr. Speary, Dr. Penfield, Dr. Owen, Dr. Leibet, these are Nobel Prize winning experiments that was done in the laboratory to show the idea that Aristotle was talking about 1,000 years ago about dualism versus materialism. That was the old way of thinking, that even to this day some people still think that way, that there's nothing but material. In other words, atoms or void. Atoms or void. There's nothing, or it's something. It's atom. But then Aristotle at those times introduced the idea that there is something more than the brain, more than atom and void. There's the soul, there is the intellect, there is the awareness. There's something more to us than the physical brain. And now, today, through the experiments that I just named a few, neuroscience has proven beyond the shadow of the doubt that there are aspects of you and the mind that the brain cannot reach. And for that, you may want to watch this video, of a long video based on the report of Dr. Ignar, which I used that report and enhanced it a little bit to the point that added some things that I could research on. But Dr. Ignar has done all the work, and I created that for you guys a little bit more elaborate and explanatory. And I hope that you will enjoy it, which will help you to see what I was referring to. Put your mind at ease about living your life, even though the interference and intrusions of the brain through thoughts can be there. You let them be there. You don't have to stop it. You don't have to destroy your brain or stop it from thinking. Thoughts, that's what the job of the brain is, to create, manufacture 80, 90,000 thoughts a day. But regardless of what that manufactures and creates, you're not responsible for those thoughts. You're oblivious to those thoughts. You have no knowledge of what the brain is going to make, and what it makes is irrelevant to you, is meaningless to you. You're not supposed to think that you're getting your cues from the brain. Brain is not you. You're not the brain. And that's explained clearly in Dr. Schwartz's book of Brain Lock. So let me share with you this link, which will help you to educate yourself about that sort of thing. So when an intrusive thought shows up, you won't freak out. You will understand that you're still you, whoever you are, however you are, whatever gender you have, you're still you. You're not going to change just because a suggestion, a thought showed up, and the brain being so powerful, making that thought to affect and create a response from your body. And then that makes you think, oh, because I had a body response, then that must be real. No, it's not. The body responds to all kinds of things that the brain can do, but that's got nothing to do with what you actually are. You know, you can right now think about sour grape and the lemon being squeezed into your mouth, and you can see you're salivating. Yeah, the sour lemon and lime mixed, and then just like when you want to have, I don't know, tequila or something, or sour grape in vineyard. It's not the season. It's all green and sour, very sour. See, there's no there's no lime or lemon or grape here, but you're salivating because the brain can make your body react. So what does that mean? Just because I reacted salivating, then I'm having a lemon? No. Same thing. It can make your body react to certain kind of a association of sex that images or thoughts can create, which has nothing to do with your interest in the same gender, but it can have association with the sex as a concept, and then your body reacts to it, and then you get bamboozled. So, oh my goodness, that must have mean that there is a same gender interest or homosexuality or whatever it is that you're not. If you are, you are. You enjoy your life and you go by your life and prosper and do whatever it is that you're set out to accomplish. If you're not, or sometimes a homosexual person would actually have the same HOCD and feels like he's being heterosexual. Again, the same process happens there too. So it doesn't matter what it is. It's every brain has the same kind of malfunctions in one time or another. So, having said that, Salum says, oh, Zach says, Mehran is right, Tyler. Learn to conserve yourself. Okay. And Salum says, Mehran, similar the way you go to long walks alone, I'm on drive and I'm listening to you. Any thoughts on how breakup, rage, and anger evolves you or makes you successful? Well, again, it's a choice. Remember, in life, we are not defined by the thought that shows up in your head, because there could be all kind of thoughts showing up in different kind of people's head. Intrusive thoughts, things that could be unwelcome to you, thoughts of horrible thoughts such as pedophilia, and but because thought of murdering someone, yeah. But because these thoughts show up, that really doesn't mean it is defining you, because you're defined by your vetoes and choices. The thought of murdering someone or pedophilia could show up in your head, but the fact that you veto it, that's what defines you, not the fact that the thought showed up. That doesn't define who you are. So we live by our vetoes and choices. Now, the same thing in regards to relationships. You get angry, so you have a choice. Does it help you to get angry? What does it give you other than unfocusedness, lack of, it takes your energy away, distracts you from what it is that you want to be good at. So what does anger do? Now, if you're going to turn that anger and focus it and turn it into a positive power to energize and encourage you to accomplish a certain goal in your life, then you're using that anger in a positive way. But if you allow the anger, quality of the anger and that emotion stay in you, that's going to inhibit your ability to unleash the maximum potential that you have in whatever it is you want to accomplish. Try this. Go play tennis when you're angry. When you're angry, all your muscles are tight, because when you're angry, everything is tight, right? And you will see you can run fast. Try this. Become angry and tight and tense and try to run fast. Just be tight and stiff and angry and try to box. You see, everything is tight. You gotta be loose and relaxed. Then you can box fast. You can run fast. You can play tennis fast and good. Your mind is balanced. Your brain is balanced, thinking properly, focusing on what you want it to focus on. And you're relaxed and cool as far as your muscles are concerned. So they're ready to come to action when you call upon them. But when you're angry, it also, that mental state will also affect the function of your body. No runner is running as fast as they do while angry. Their body is loose and their mind is loose and relaxed, and then they are very efficient. So in your case, you had a situation of a breakup. Okay, make a choice. What are my choices? To sit and cry and be upset, or actually accept that this is one of the outcomes of a relationship, either lasts or doesn't. Why? Because relationships is based on, connection and bonding of the consciousness level. And if the two consciousness are not bonding properly, they're not compatible, the relationship eventually will break up regardless of what physical attraction is there. Because the relationship is not between the two physicalities of two people, it's between their compatibility in the consciousness level. So you make a choice. What is it going to be for me? I accept the fact that people are different because every consciousness is different. And therefore, we may have been compatible at the outset, but we also change and grow and modify as we go along in life. And my consciousness and her consciousness, you will think that grew apart and reacted to life challenges, situations differently, and was conditioned differently. Therefore, the persona would become different, expectations and everything else changes. So when it changes, you're no longer interested in each other because you were interested in each other when you had more things in common, which was then in space and time, before you had made these changes through the consciousness. But now time has changed. You moved from where you were to where you are. And in the meantime, the content of the consciousness is modified through the experiences and how we react and interacted and, to them. So now you're no longer as compatible as you were when you guys met. You're changed. And therefore, you're no longer compatible. If you're not compatible, the relationship cannot go on. So you separate. And that's okay. That's fine. That's natural. That's normal. So what's the anger for? Anger is because you don't have that what you thought you should have. That's kind of not really looking at it properly, is it? Because you are trying to please the desire, fulfill the desire through pleasure. And the desire is forcing you to continue this relationship because there's something in that relationship that gives you pleasure. And the ego comes to the picture, says, this is mine. Regardless if it's like you're going to buy a suit or a clothing. It's not your size, but you like it. It says, it's mine. Well, you can't force it. It doesn't fit, right? So when you get to the point that the relationship don't fit the consciousnesses, then you got to understand that it's futile wanting to be in this, no longer fun. But the desire doesn't think the way you can think it. Desire says, I still want that pleasure. The ego says that pleasure is mine. But you say, in order to have that, I got to have compatibility. We don't have that anymore, but you don't focus on that. You just focus on the benefits of it. You need to get away from the benefits and focus on the actuality and totality of the package of that person. How were you guys treating each other at the end? How were you reacting? What kind of changes have you guys each made? How do you treating each other? And if you weren't being treated as you expected and you were offering, and you weren't being treated as it was maybe at the beginning of your relationship, then obviously it's not going to be working. Now you're trying to hold on to the pleasure part and select part of the relationship that you like, and for that reason you want the relationship back. But when it comes back, there's so many other things wrong with it which will end up being broken up again. So because pleasure and desire for pleasure is not what's going to keep the relationship together. So you got to understand that, and don't pursue that relationship because there was a certain selected part and pleasure in there that you liked. So you got to look beyond that, be a little bit bigger than that, and look at the whole entirety of the quality of the package. So let's see if that would help out. Anyhow, anything more than that, you can make an appointment with me on Skype and we'll explore it further. MS3 says the biggest. MS3, what happened to the protocol? Age, gender, where are you tuning in from? Zach says it's good stuff, Maren. Thank you very much. Yeah, that's true, Zach. Yeah, you may think of the earth being the shape of anything. That doesn't make it true, is it? All right. Tyler says, some which is not mentally sexual. The past happened about 6 years. Tyler, you're giving too much meaning to things. He says, you had some same-sex actions which is not meant to be sexual. Okay, so why are you giving it a sexual tone? And whatever it was, you have choices and vetoes. You don't choose it to be anything. And if you are so concerned about that action that could be interpreted to something else, well, you choose not to have that action today. And that's all there is. What's the trigger? You think something that happened that you were not aware of it, or you didn't intend it, or you did not plan on it, and now you're looking at it in different light and interpreting it, perceiving it to have meant something else and have been something else other than what it was, and then you're going from there. Whatever it was at that moment, you weren't interpreting it the way you're interpreting it now. So if you weren't interpreting it then in this way, why would you interpret it now in this way? Which means it's only the work of the brain. There's no actuality to it. There's no truth to it. It's just, again, another thought based on the malfunction of the signaling system of the brain. So you just let go interpretation of all thoughts. Don't try to look meanings for it. Don't try to give explanation or meaning, because there's no explanation needed. I can turn around and any kind of, okay, my horse, I was feeding it and I was trying to go behind it. So obviously I got to put my hand all around the neck, come around the butt, and then turn around so the horse knows that I'm going behind him and wouldn't kick me. But now I can interpret this, but you liked it when you were going around the horse with the hand on her butt. You can interpret anything to anything. Just because a meaning of an action is changed or can be changed in your brain, that doesn't mean that the whole intention and the action and its intentions is changed, and therefore you are defined by that, what the brain is thinking about an action that was happened years ago, and you had no such intentions then as you are thinking about it now. It's all bullshit. You're working yourself into some kind of a tangent that didn't exist then, doesn't exist now, illusional, and the brain is just conjuring up things, and you are trying to make meaning out of what is meaningless and irrelevant. So stop interpreting any thoughts. Let the thoughts be, but you live by your vetoes and choices. If a thought is not appropriate to you, don't choose it. Focus on what it is you're focusing on. You need not to interpret any thought that shows up. There's 80, 90,000 of them every day. You have no such time. And you're not responsible for what the brain creates and conjures up. You're responsible for your actions, for your vetoes and choices. That's what separates you from the brain. And there is a clear separation between the brain, you, and thoughts. You know, there are thoughts that you purposely go into the consciousness, pick up some kind of a ingredient, some kind of a inventory of thoughts, and you use it to calculate something, figure out something, design something, accomplish something, learn something. That's your thoughts. But then the brain itself uses the apparatus that you used, the brain's apparatus you use to make thoughts for advancement of your purposes. But the brain itself uses the apparatus of the brain and makes thoughts because its job is to make thoughts. It's not an intellect. It doesn't know what it does. It just is designed to make thoughts. It just makes thoughts. Whatever you throw in, it makes thoughts. You know, it's like a factory that you throw aluminum in it, steel in it, styrofoam in it, plastic in it, wheat in it. It forms it in the same kind of a product. It just makes thoughts. Doesn't know what material it is, what it means, what it's supposed to be doing, what is it good for. It's just been designed to make that product. And the brain is designed to make thoughts. So whatever it gets makes thoughts. You are trying to interpret that it means something, therefore it is you who making those thoughts. No, you're not responsible for that. It's totally different system. When you understand that, then you don't give a shit what the brain does. Focus on what you're doing through your vetoes and choices. That's what defines you, and that's who you are. And you simply don't have any other mandate. Deep Diver is here, says Mehran, I just did what you mentioned a few minutes back. Oh, what did you do? Deep Diver, female, 46 Tehran. Thank you very much, Deep Diver. I appreciate it. What was it that I said a few minutes ago? Oh, the lemon thing? Am I right? The lemon thingy? Alexandra Puskarova. It's a Russian name, is it? Any tips for first date for female? Okay. First, let me know your age, gender, and where you're tuning in from. I'll get back to you shortly. And let's see, I missed lots of people here. Mystery says the biggest mystery. Where is your age, gender, where you're tuning in from? Please help me out here now. Come on, guys. The biggest lie we're socially forced to believe is that we are incomplete without another. Love knows no loneliness, for in loneliness, love's lost. Mean that all senses of the okay, I'm sorry, I didn't get it. All right. Deep Diver says, Salam, hi Mehran. Which one? Salam or hi? I mean, we can't have both. It's like saying hi Mehran, right? I understand. Thank you. I appreciate that. Says Salam, hi Mehran. Wow. So what I'm going through now regarding the relationship not fitting anymore, although the desire is still there. So does it mean what we were talking about resonates with you, or have I lost you, or help me out here? You know what you're saying. Wow. It means, was it fitting? Was it not fitting? Is it hitting right on the spot? And let's see. Petit Man is here. Says, hi, Mehran. Hope you're doing well and in good health. Well, thank you very much. Yeah, somewhat I am. I've been walking about average of 15 kilometer every night, and some days I have gym workout as well, and then at night I do the 12, 13, 14, 15 kilometer. And last night I was sitting here doing trimmings and having Skype consultations. So it was like 5, 6 hours sitting. Uh, my ankle was swollen a little bit. So, and of course, my knees and my feet were kind of shot because of all these past months of walking, and especially past 10 days. I've been walking 16 kilometer a night, 10, 15 kilometer a night. So it was pretty much for 2 nights. I said, oh, I can't go anymore. So I was kind of concerned about why is it kind of swelled up a little bit, but I could notice it. Of course, it's gone now today, but I don't like it. So otherwise, I'm good. I've been exercising, picking up my workout gym. I feel strong. I feel good. Yeah. Just don't forget, guys, everyone should do some kind of exercise, some kind of a workout. Keep your body and mind both healthy. Meditate and exercise. Some sports, some light weight training, workout, depending what's good for you. Talk to your doctors if you have to before you do that. Otherwise, do it in at your own level as long as it's healthy for you. But do some kind of a physical exercise, physical workout, and mental clarity and workout, mindful exercises, and so forth. Uh-huh. Aman is here, male India. Thank you for that. Alexandra says, I don't want to be so nervous and just enjoy that. Alexandra, as I mentioned, I need to know your age, gender, where you're tuning in from, then I'll definitely respond to your question. Alexandra says, so my question, Mehran, is if you have any tips for first date for female. I'm 24, from Slovakia, Europe. Yeah, okay. And your situation, as I kind of glanced through it, is that you were in a 3-year relationship, and 10 months ago you broke up with your boyfriend, and the date that you're going tomorrow coincides on the same day that is your boyfriend's birthday. Yeah. Again, I don't know enough detail about the relationship, so where you are mentally, who broke up, he broke up, you broke up, and none of that I know. But regardless of what it is, and if you put that aside, which I could address it if I know more about it, um, let's talk about your date tomorrow. First of all, I'm going to give you some secrets that can help you. And this is good for all women. This is gold. So take notes. First of all, we are made differently than you are, naturally. Being in your present, if we have chosen to go out with you, that means you have satisfied our aesthetic needs for a woman to entice us and convince us to go and ask her for a date. Because, especially these days, a date is not cheap, it's an investment, time wise, and so on. But the good news for you is that if we have already come that far, that means we are interested. So you have no question about if the man is interested in you. That's why he's asked you out. Now, to what level of interest and what the intention is, that's a different story. But the idea that he likes you and he's pleased to be in your presence is already reason for you to not be nervous, because you are in the driver's seat in a way, at least at the outset. Because we're like hungry dogs and we've seen a meat and we are willing to do anything that is necessary to get that meat. The meat being your attention, your friendship, your companionship, to be in your present, to hold your hand, and the rest of it, but we don't want to go there. So you're in the driver's seat at the outset. So there's no reason for you to be nervous, because, to be honest with you, you don't have to do anything. We are pretty interested when we are out with a woman, especially at the first few times, at least until it develops to something else. So you have really no need to be nervous, because there's nothing for you to do. The fact that you're there, it's all the guy is expecting. So your job is done by just being there. Just be yourself, enjoy yourself, be pleasant, be cordial, be classy as you are. That's all. You know, I assume that's the kind of a level of woman you are, because there are many women who are bad behavior. They're just arrogant, rude, or, that we're not talking about that. So you being there is already a gift to him. Look at yourself in this way. He's so pleased and beside himself that you're there. You might be nervous because you don't know about this. You think that you're supposed to be impressing the guy. You're supposed to do nothing. He's impressed already. So you just be there and see what the conversation goes. He's going to try to entertain you. He's going to try to talk and make you feel amused. He's going to impress you. And you can just sit there and enjoy and appreciate his efforts and feel safe if he's a person who is behaving properly. And simply judge what conversation you want to continue, what conversation you can change. You can change to something else. You're totally in control. So there is nothing to be nervous about. Nothing is expected from you. And if you go in there without any expectations, you will come out very happy. But if you go in there with the expectation that, oh, he's supposed to be this, he's supposed to be replacing your ex-boyfriends, you're supposed to be this way, you're looking for a perfect person to replace, not just a perfect person, but a perfect person who will also replace your ex-boyfriend. These are all the wrong plans that you're going to go in there, and you're going to be disappointed. So go in there with no expectations, just to expect to meet a pleasant person who's going to be cordial and gentleman. And if that wasn't, well, you will just get up and say, thank you very much, you go home. But if it was, that's all your expectation is. And you will be cordial, well-dressed, nice, and go sit there and enjoy your time and see what comes out of it. And then judge after the date. You're trying to judge before the date. How is it going to be? What am I supposed to do? Nothing. You're going there for dinner. Probably is some kind of a, outing. So go with no expectations. You don't think that what you should do, what you shouldn't do. What am I going to do if he asks me go up to his place? Well, you already know. You say no. It's a first date. Of course not. So you're there with your own agenda, and your agenda is just nothing but being a pleasant person and being in the presence of a pleasant person. That's all. So what's there to be nervous? If you expect some kind of a reciprocation to that person's, your date's expectation, then you're going to be nervous. But why should you? Nobody can force you to do anything. Nobody can expect anything beyond what you want to offer. You set the limits. Women set the limits in a date. The man is just there trying to do his best to impress you. So you're really watching a movie. You're really watching a theater. You're really enjoying how he's going to cater around you and provide comfort for you, serve you. That's really what his intention is, if he's a gentleman. And that really is what you're going to be watching. It's like a pleasant atmosphere that somebody is trying to make you feel comfortable, happy, good, and safe. That's all. If it's anything other than that, you're always in control to get up and say, look, I got to go. Something happened, or we are not, we are not hitting it off. This is not the right combination, and just go. What's there to be nervous about? You're nervous because you want to impress the guy, because you want to replace him, because you want him to love you and like you as much as your ex did, so you can define yourself by the attention that he's paying you. Don't. You want a signature on a dotted line right now that he's going to be committed, he's going to be doing this, he's not going to break up with you, he's not going to do the things your ex did, all the things that you didn't like, and all the things you did like about your ex, you want him to have. So you're nervous about it. Don't stop comparing. Do not think that you're going to see a resemblance of your ex, or you expect that. Just go see who this person is. He's going to try his best to introduce himself to you. He's going to go out of his way to impress you, introduce you, and all that. So let him do that. And sometimes, you may just have a feedback and throw some feedback in and see where the conversation goes. So it's like a ride. You're going to go on a ride and somebody else is driving the car. You just look at the scenery. That's really the comfort zone for the women, if they know this, because already he's excited. Just set the tone. If you don't set the tone at the beginning, for example, he sees you and he starts putting his hand on your legs, and if you don't say, I think it's very early for that, and move it away, and if he does again, then put your chair a little bit away. These are like for creeps that they don't know their limits, but you can handle that. But if you set the tone, whatever it is that you don't like at the beginning, just a subtle move gives him the idea that the limits, the boundaries are set. Then you'll be fine the rest of the evening. And if he wasn't, you always have the choice to leave. So relax. I hope that was helpful to you. Alexander. All right. Petit Man says, glad to hear you're taking care of your health. I have also picked up running and my legs hurt a lot, but I'm making sure to give my body good sleep and breaks to heal. Yeah, definitely. I didn't do that. I did it every night. That's bad. Deep Diver says, whenever I come to your live, there is always something you say that I am in the process of implementing, and your comments endorses my decisions. Thank you. You're quite welcome, dear. I'm delighted that you enjoy the program and find it useful for your daily life. I believe you gave me your name last time, but I don't remember it. And Deep Diver says, I will be having a virtual date, very cheap. Even my coffee is on me. Any tips on virtual date? Although I'm pretty relaxed and confident woman. Oh, you're having a virtual date on Skype with someone. Yeah, it depends on what you think of. Have you ever seen the guy yet? Is it the first time you're gonna have a virtual date? Like you guys been maybe typing things and chatting, but not face to face? Is that what it is? If that's the case, you don't worry about. You just do what you would do on a date. Like you look good. You wear something nice that you like to wear. That's assuming that the person is a gentleman. The person is upstanding or meets your standards. Assume that. So give that benefit of the doubt. Like, and then present yourself the way you would present yourself on a date with someone that you like. Hmm? And if did turn out that the man and the other side also is wearing, proper attire and um, cleanly shaved and present himself as best as he can, then you know you did right. And if it didn't, then you know that that person doesn't meet your level of expectation, at least protocol. And then all you have to do is just, again, the same way. He's ecstatic to be on Skype with you. His heart is beating fast and he wants, because his brain doesn't understand virtuality. When he sees you, he's already excited. When he sees you, and if you guys are physically matched, you like each other's looks, then he's already excited to see you. So he wants to please you, to impress you, and he's going to show it through his words, no matter what, because his brain doesn't understand this is virtual. His brain is going to make his body and tone of speech still do the same kind of a behavior as if it was face to face. You can feel that. You can feel that resonation. And you just, again, sit back and let him entertain you. At the beginning, women usually like to see what the man is made out of, and nothing better than let him talk rather than you talk much. Let him talk, and if there was some interesting topic, then of course you will reciprocate, you will interact, you will get involved and discuss, and you will enjoy the discussion. But in order for you to find out who he is, how he is, other than all the text and the good things that he's been sending you, now you can look at his facial expressions, you can see his energy, you can try to feel his energy when he talks, and also try to see the topics of the discussions. Where is he going? Where is his mind at? Is he trying to get to know you, or is trying to get to your pants, all from the virtual distance? And that will set the tone and give you a little bit more information about the guy and his character. Then you go from there and let him talk. Through people talking, you get to know a lot about them. Let them talk about yourself, and you can just probe small questions. So, like, do you have brothers and sisters? What do they do? He could be I don't know, a teacher, but his brother could be a drug dealer. So you want to know that. So what kind of family is it? Not that it makes a difference to him. He's a different individual. He can still be okay, but you want to put some small probe questions in there and to get him talk more about what you really want to find out. Yeah. you know Anyhow, there's a lot to talk about. You guys go make an appointment, for heaven's sake. This is turned into a one-on-one. And Deep Diver says yes. First time just exchanged email. Says I have an idea of his values. We have seen each other's pictures. Okay, good. That's good. So you have some idea how he looks, but that's an advancement. You don't have to be surprised too badly. And Lugani says, Mehran Salam, 24 May, London. Salam in Lugani. Says, what life advice would give to someone in their 20s? There is a lot of pressure society places on people to achieve a lot. There's really not a big advice because I don't know what that person is about, what he or she is intending to accomplish in this life. So I don't know much about that certain person. Each person is differently, and different advice maybe fits different people. But one advice that I think everybody can enjoy is that live your life in such a way that you will enjoy it two times. It means live your life in a way that you will enjoy it once when you're doing it, when you're living it, the actions, the decisions, and the things that you're involved in. You will enjoy doing those. So the decisions that you make should be in such a way that you will enjoy it. The outcome would be good. You enjoy it when you're doing it. That's one time. And the other time would be when you look back at what you did before at a certain point in time in the future. When you look back and see how you lived, you also enjoy it. So, in other words, make decisions and live your life in a way that you will enjoy it when you're doing it, and also you will enjoy and approve of it when you later on look back and see how you lived. I guess that's one of the most difficult things to do, but that's the only advice that I can give a 20-year-old. At least sets them on the right track, makes them ponder before they do something. In other words, think deep and judge well all throughout your life. Think deep and judge well. Can you guys hear me okay? Is the sound okay? Deep Diver says, this is a fantastic advice, Mehran. Which one, dear? Thank you. And Deep Diver says, I'm sanctioned, Mehran. I wish I could have a one-on-one session with you. You can. Just go on my site, mind@sixtruth.com, and make an appointment for an hour, and I'll throw in another hour, and we'll have 2 hours to one-on-one explore what's concerning you. Deep Diver says, yes, sound is perfect. Oh, great. And everywhere you see says, yes, Mehran. Oh, okay, good. Sound is good. And Karkanon says, how to deal with a bad breakup, Mehran? Look, that's a loaded question. I mean, that's a one sentence question. He's got 3,000 videos on it on this channel. So I can't, depends on what kind of a relationship you had, how it, turned out to be, how you treated each other, how you guys grew apart, what your consciousness and her consciousness is all about. All these things I don't know anything about. So don't ask me questions that is so, general that I don't know which end, where to start, where to end it. It's a never-ending story. So let's go back to Beetlejuice is here from Norway, I guess. Beetlejuice, did you forget the protocol? What the hell happened to you? Of all people, and I remember you're from Norway, huh? Says one, my comment showing you missed my. Oh, did I? So you were here earlier. Let's see. Let me go hunt. Oh, there it is. Oh, he says you missed my question. Oh, did I? Okay, let's go. Let's go find it. Ooh, I list. There's Beetlejuice. Oh my goodness, so many Beetlejuice. I lost all of your comments. Yeah, lots of people. All right, let's catch up. Aman is here. We got that one. Alexander, we talked about her situation. Emily says, does HOCD cause false attraction? That's what HOCD does. But what do you exactly mean by false attraction? I want to get this straight. Some of you use that word, and I want to know what it means to you. Just want to make sure that, because I've got a ton of videos on the subject and it's already addressed. But I just want to know what you're what you mean there. Is it the same thing that I think you mean? So just explain, if you will, Emily. And Carcanon says, hi, Meran. How do you, how to do when we feel inferior than an ex and feel that they won? They won what? What is it that you guys think you lost or you won? Won what? Who can win anything when they lose something? So if you think she won what? Breaking up with you, she won. There's no battle here to win or not. It's about question of compatibility. Are you compatible or not? The idea is not I gotta get him or I gotta get her. The idea is, are we compatible with this girl? Are you compatible with this guy? Or whatever your gender is and however your relationship is. That's the question. But people go into a relationship as if it's a game or war. I gotta win. Win, what does that mean? To dominate her, to be in control, to be a dictator, not be balanced to each other and complement each other. What kind of a outcome you expect from a relationship that makes you feel it's you got to win, I lost? What did you lose? If you break up, you broke up. If she didn't want to be with you, that's a breakup. It's not a loss. It means you guys are not compatible. If you didn't want to be with her, that's not a loss or win. It's not a loss for her. It's not a win for you. It just means you guys are not compatible. You got to make the right decision. Good enough. Go on. So I don't really understand. If you think of it as something to gain and grab, and so I won, and now she's gone, I lost. You're looking at it as a commodity. She's not a commodity. You're not a commodity. You're supposed to be powering up together and see if it goes anywhere that you would want to spend more time together with each other. All right. Salomos, yeah, it's a long story. I mean, I've explained that one of the videos. Let me put that video for you up because that will free the time here, and you can also get what you want at the same time. Um, there it is. There it is. Yeah, I don't know which video it is, but I have explained it like, in detail, kind of. But this particular one talks about how to how to deal with OCD in a nutshell, 5 minutes. Maybe that would be something. Otherwise, it'll be like a discussion that is irrelevant, really, pretty much, because it's about me. I want it to be about you guys. But maybe in a different forum, I can discuss stuff. I've already done it in a video. Zach says, by the way, in case you forgot, Marin, USA, Idaho, 45. Thank you for that. Yeah, the 45 was kind of in that bulb. I knew your age category, but didn't remember Idaho. Thank you for that. Your comment before Petite Man. Oh, okay. Let me go before Petite Man. Ah, uh-huh. So I'm reading between the lines, Deep Diver says, so what I'm going through now regarding the relationship not fitting anymore, though the desire is still there. Desire for the same person, so it's intimacy, sexual desire is there, which is okay naturally. When we break up with our girlfriends or whatever relationship you're having, breakup somewhat is hard in a way for many reasons. One reason is that you can't separate the sexuality and intimacy of in the relationship from the relationship itself. You kind of say, how can I not have this that I like, the sex, but give up the relationship? So the relationship is not working, but you like the sex, and that becomes a problem. That's why some of the relationships takes a long time to break up, even though it should have broken up right from day, I don't know, third month or so. They could see it, but the longer they stay in it, there would be economic factors, there would be convenience factors, there would be conditioning factors, that you're used to the order. A certain order of life has been created, that you don't want to deviate from that gives you a sense of comfort, even though it might not be pleasant, but still gives you a certain order. Having some order is better than not having any order, because the mind finds its solace and its security in the order of things, so it doesn't want to deviate from that. Doesn't want to lose the relationship, not because it's a good relationship, but because it's got an order in there and it can kind of settle and feel there's a purpose to it. But at the same time, all these other factors are that are not working. And then the sexuality end of it, if sex is good, that makes it more difficult to separate. But eventually, the sex becomes not a big issue anymore, because the quality of the relationship overrides the pleasure of the sex, and you're ready to let that go in a later future time, when you should have let it go if you weren't distracted or convinced by the intimacy and all the other benefits of economic benefits and comfort and order to stay in the relationship. So it's very important to judge that early and try to compromise and fix it if you can, discuss it. Otherwise, it will go longer and longer while you think, well, it's going long, so we're okay, but it's not okay. It's just enduring it because there are some side benefits. It's just holding it together. So, in other words, if you're trying to push and hold something together, that's not the right relationship. When it's holding on itself and the relationship is getting you guys closer and more comfortable without any effort, that's fine. But if you're trying to find reasons, do extraordinary things just to keep the relationship together, that means two things are broken. It's like two magnets on different polarities, that the more you push toward, the more they want to repel each other. If you're supposed to push them to get them together, that's a wrong relationship. If you're supposed to do extraordinary things to convince yourselves that this is a good relationship, it's logical, I should stay, that's all fucked up. So don't let the sexuality, the pleasure of the relationship, convince you that it's a good relationship. Don't let the convenience of the relationship, economic reasons of the relationship, the order that relationship has created in your life, make you stay in the relationship and convince you that it's a good relationship. It's not. You got to think deep and judge well. All right. So where are we? Have I caught up with you, Deep Diver? And Johnny says, hello, Professor. Well, okay, I'll take that. Karkanon says, Marin, do you support the work of David Coggins? I don't know this person. I've not heard of him. I don't know his work. Brad Genazian. Gernazian. Gernazian. That's a Armenian name, is it? Gernazian? Brad? He says, I love being with girls, but when these thoughts come up, I get scared that maybe I'm denying something. And that when these thoughts come up, when I'm with girls, I get a lot of anxiety. Yeah, that's normal. Why you get anxiety? Because you're really into who you are. You're a heterosexual male. You love who you are, what you are. You love women. And the thought seems as an attack to your identity, which you love so much. So you create anxiety to protect it and fend off whatever is attacking, which is only thoughts. But to you, it's more than a thought. It's a it's an invasion, and you're trying to save yourself. And for that reason, you become anxious. It's not that anything else isn't there, it's the fact that you want to defend yourself, and that anxiety is there. But let me help you with understanding something which most of you sufferers of HOCD miss. Listen carefully. The fact that you recognize, the fact that you recognize the contradiction between who you are, what you prefer, what you are, what your choice is, and the suggestion of the brain, the fact that you can feel and become aware of the contradiction between the suggestion of the brain and you, that means you are not what the brain suggests. Because if you were, you wouldn't even notice the contradiction. If there is an awareness is only when there is a contradiction. If you have become aware of something separate from you, something different from you, something that you're not, something that is not in line with your values, if you have become aware of such thing, that means there is a contradiction. And if there is a contradiction is between what you are and what you're not. And what you're not is created by the brain. And that's why you become aware of a contradiction, because what the brain suggests is different than what you are, what you know of yourself inwardly, what it is. Therefore, the awareness is born. So when there's an awareness born, it's born because there's a contradiction. If there is a contradiction, that means it's separation between what the brain says and you. Otherwise, you wouldn't be aware of any contradiction. It's like somebody tells me, you love woman. I say, yeah. There's no contradiction. There's no awareness of anything abnormal to me. I'll walk around, I see a woman with high heels and all doed up and says, hey, good looking. Love it. There's no contradiction. There's no alarm. But if somebody says some kind of a shit to me or something that is uninvited, like swears at my mother, I don't like that. Yeah. So I go to defense, or says something, which is not in line with my values or my lifestyle, then my back goes up and I start to defend it. The anxiety, the fight and flight, and the sympathetic and parasympathetic comes to the picture, and the whole thing. That's because there is a contradiction. I become aware of something that needs the protection. Amygdala comes into the picture and starts protecting you, the anxiety and so on and so forth. The fight and flight and freeze, the sympathetic nerve comes to the picture, tries to defend you, protect you from what it is that you want to protect. And the reason that you become aware of something that is not in your values, because you want to protect your values, which is not in line. This thing that has been suggested is not in line with your values. So you become aware to protect your values. That's why you're talking about it. The fact that you're talking about it, that means you're not what the brain is suggesting or throws out at you. So that's the end of it. Now, Managing it and understanding and educating yourself is through the videos that I've made and the links of psychologists, psychotherapists, famous ones like Dr. Philipson, Dr. Jan Rayner, Dr. Schwartz. All of these, the links are there. You can educate yourself and understand what this thing is all about and regain your balance and go about your business. Retrain and rewire your brain and make it function again out of its malfunction that every electrical system does, and our brain is electrical system. All right, let me cut that short because that's a big topic, and I don't want to end up talking more than letting it more than take more time than it should. But we try to address anything that comes up. All right. No, Brad, that's just again statics, and you just got to learn how to tune in. It's like you're trying to listen to a music, an orchestra that is playing at the park, but the park is close to the street, lots of cars and trucks and sound is going passing by. So it's hard to actually get into it and hear it well. It's not because the music is changed or music disappeared or the musicians are not there, the orchestra is not there. No, they're playing. It's there. It hasn't gone anywhere. Like your interest in that girl, interest in who you are, interest in your sexuality and orientation. It hasn't gone anywhere. Only that there are statics like the cars and the trucks and the sound that doesn't let you hear the orchestra's music so well and clear. It's not all these attacks and intrusive thoughts. It's kind of taking your attention away, and it's statics, not letting you focus and see what is actually there and you're there for. Otherwise, your attention or your interest hasn't gone anywhere. It's just being interrupted by the presence of unwanted noises. So, okay. Beetlejuice says there is something else that's been bothering me, and I wanted to ask you about it. I always find myself reminiscing the past, and I feel depressed that I can't go back to my childhood. Okay, that's it. That's a big topic. You got to make an appointment with me on Skype, and then we'll discuss it. This is not going to be. I try to attend to general questions as much as I can in a live stream, but if I want to go into real session, that'll be like the whole live stream. So it's a good question, and I can help you with that. But you got to go in my site, mind@6truth.com, make an appointment, and if you make a 1 hour appointment, you're a new client. I add another appointment, another hour to it, and in that appointment, we'll have 2 hours. It's the 1 hour. 1 hour would be on me. Deep Diver says, I think I have a good grip of myself as an observer. I had this instant, I had this intense connection with this guy online a couple of months back, but realized he doesn't have the skills and maturity for a relationship. Yeah, depends on the age and the economic situation and the level of need of what part of relationship they need. If they are being at their best for a certain goal, and that is intimacy and sex, then eventually you'll find that out, then rather than their intention being a long-term relationship and building something and being together and also enjoying the rest of the uh, you know qualities that comes with it. So yeah, that's good. So you can continue relying on your um, senses and observations, and then go from there. But you can't be concluding everything from just a Skype session either, because there's so many things that you will get to know a person if you're having tea with them or coffee with them or having lunch, the way they negotiate life, the way they talk to other people, the way they interact with the challenges comes up, their level of patience, the words they use, their energy that you feel. That energy is very important. People do not realize that you can get to know a person through the energy, nonverbal energy, that whether they want it or not is being extended outwardly from each person, each human being, lot better than through their words or their some of their actions, because even they can design their action to be very palatable, very appropriate, but the energy that's behind that action gives away their real intention. And that comes with time. You get to know them. Maybe they can mask it and be at their best behavior first few dates, but eventually you'll see the actuality of them if you are in a position, in an environment where they are in contact with outside world, like the waiter that brings the tea, like, I don't know, wherever you guys go for a walking, and the postures and the how they switch topics and so on and so forth. The fact of observing someone's behavior toward outside world, not to you, because with you they have an intention, yeah, and that intention is mostly sexual or whatever else it can be. But with others, you can see their true character, pretty much, because they have no intention towards the others other than getting what they want, and see what path they choose to negotiate that what they're after. Whether it's tea, coffee, buying something, or I don't know, discussing whatever. You know what I'm saying. I hope you do. All right. Beetlejuice's life was so simple back then, and my life feels meaningless and dull right now. I just want to go back to the older days, and I've been depressed about this for a few weeks. So you're chickening out, right? You want things easy. You want to watch a movie that you've already watched and you know the ending, so you won't be nervous and you won't meet faced with unexpected things. You know, that's being a little bit of a wanting it too easy. That's not how life is. If you were able to deal with your childhood before, while you were growing up, you hadn't had the experience of your childhood when you were going through your childhood. It was all brand new, first timer. And if you handled it, you handled it perfectly. And now you're adult, you're older. If you could do that then without knowing what childhood is like, but going through the childhood, then you should be able to do what it is that you're going through now, because you don't have to know how your adulthood would be before you dare to go through your adulthood. You have the capability because you've already proven it to yourself when you were a child. You didn't know what childhood is, but you went through it. And now to the point that you love to go back and visit it. That means you have perfect capability to make right decisions and live right and do the right things at this stage of the age that you are. And you can have the same confidence now. But wanting to go to the childhood is not just, wanting to sit on the side and watch the soccer game instead of going in and play. Hmm? It's not going to get you anywhere. So again, you make an appointment with me and we'll talk. This is not just the 2 minute talk. Um, Brad says, Marin, my HOCD has me constantly ruminating if I would enjoy something, male to non-Colombia. That's how HOCD works. So don't be bamboozled. Just learn and educate yourself about what OCD and subsets of OCD, such as pedophile OCD, harm OCD, HOCD, all these are. And that knowledge will help you to see what how the brain functions and malfunctions. Then you'll be fine. But that's a process which I've created all those videos for you and all the links for the psychologists and psychotherapists, well-known psychotherapists, that you can watch their videos and so on. Or you can also make an appointment with me. Go on my site, mind@6truth.com, make an appointment. And again, as I said, if you're a new client, for 1 hour registration, I'll give you another hour for that session. We'll have 2 hours to explore one-on-one on Skype what's concerning you. Look, Brad, stop talking with the idiots who don't know anything about OCD, subsets of OCD, but they make some kind of a conclusion of some kind due to their way of thinking or all they know. Talk to psychologists, psychotherapists who are specializing in OCD and HOCD. Watch the videos that I put. These are research material that you can actually learn something from rather than talking to Tom, Dick, and Harry and listen to what they say. What the fuck do they know? So don't make yourself a guinea pig by asking this, because you're asking for reassurance and asking from people who actually don't know shit. So they say something and you are in the your brain is in the glitch of doubting everything and going after everything and not really being balanced. And so all it takes for them is to make some shitty, stupid nonsense, and then your brain glitches onto it and says, "Ah, see, I told you so." Then you go on to another nonsense for the next while. So don't do that. Don't talk to people who don't know shit. There's so much material available for you, and don't even read all the documentations that are made by some idiot who has some kind of ulterior motive, and it's not really scientific. It's not really psychological. It's not based on science or philosophy. None of that. So watch what you're reading. Because at this point you're like a sponge, you're looking for anything that could be an answer, and because the brain is malfunctioning anyhow, so anything that could actually fit its narrative of being malfunctioning, you may believe it, because you see that says the same thing that my stupid brain does. We don't say stupid brain, just think, oh, that there must be something there. No, learn about the malfunction of the brain and how it works. I've explained everything here. Go on my search engine and search for the OCD or HOC. Just put HOC, see how many videos come up. All right, then look at the titles and choose, and then educate yourself. Yeah, good for you, Dosti. That's the way to do it. Dosti, I don't remember what question was it that I said last week. I'll answer this week. I might have answered it already about OCD, HOCD stuff, because I said answered so many questions. So I'm glad that you like the live stream. I appreciate that, and thank you for being here. And Diraj Kumar says, male 24 India, says, hello, Mehran. What are the signs of a healthy brain? Ah, good question. In fact, I have a video on that. There's pretty much nothing here that you can say, and I don't have a video on it. Let's see if I can find it. It says, there it is. I found it. It's a long one, but you asked for it. Here it is. And this, it took quite a while. I mean, preparing this video, and I remember So go enjoy it. It's over an hour video, but it explains to you how to test, how to know if your brain is healthy. Gee, I must have done lots of work on this. I know I did intensely every day of 365 days more. I think about maybe 450 days every day, maybe more. I worked on this topic and made the videos that could help many in the world. But you guys, I want to ask you something to do something for me, but you haven't. So many of you in India, there's 1.3 billion people. Can't you not somehow promote this channel so people will know enough, at least a million of them? There's so much information here about relationships, breakups, the psyche, movement of the mind, OCD and HOCD and all that, which can be helpful to many, many people. But you guys got to promote the channel. People don't know about this channel. And it's awkward. It's weird that nobody knows about this channel, but there are shitty channels out there that got 500,000-600,000 subscribers. Why? Whatever reason it is, promote my channel, guys. If you think it's helpful to you, then don't be selfish. It can be helpful to somebody else too, and also to me. So bloody heck, bloody hell, get it going. NJ says, NJ, I need your age, gender, where you're tuning in from before I read your question. Harvey says, hello, 29, male, Colorado. Oh, ski country. Says, I was married to my ex for 10 years. From 19? You got married in 19? What's wrong with you? She left me out of the blue without a clue. That rhymes. 6 months ago. And is now shacked up with her friend. She assured me was just a friend. Yeah, forget that. That's bullshit. She always told me that he meant nothing. And just, this is what happens when girls get another guy as a friend, and always means nothing, because regardless of what, a guy being friend with a girl, it's natural. He wants something from her just because she's a female. That's how men are built. You can't think that a man being friend with a pretty girl or some girl that's got some, sexual attributes of interest to that guy, and he wouldn't desire her, and he's just there for discussion. So it's going to be there. So that is, unless the woman is in total control, the man is going to try. And eventually they get to know each other, and they spend more time with each other, and eventually it leads into interest other than the platonic interest and certain sexual tension and expectations, and then they act on it eventually, possibly. Depends on how they're built. As wonderful as it is to be friend with a woman, but there is a price to pay, that you're not totally in control, because your makeup is to pay an extraordinary attention to a female, not just to her brain. Her body is going to have an influence in your interaction with her and in your desire, and then the desire is born. And if you look at the prerequisites of the steps that it takes for desire to be born, you will see that in most interactions of that kind, eventually those steps, prerequisites for desire to be born, is taken, and therefore now you desire her more than just a friendship. So in this particular case, obviously that has happened. She always told me that he meant nothing, and just that they've been friends since they were young children. How do I get past feeling like an idiot and like wasted my entire 20s life on a trash? No, well, that was an experience you had to go through to find out, and you're lucky, because look, Having been married since age 19, it's not healthy anyhow. You shouldn't have been married at that age, especially in this day and age. If it was like, 50 years ago, okay, maybe. But now you're home free. You know, what you're looking for is the fact that I had so much memory, and the whole ideal of life is to be live with one person. That doesn't happen anymore. So stop that bullshit. You lucked out. You didn't have the balls to cut this relationship off, and she did. So you lucked out. You didn't have to do the hard work. And she somehow, for whatever reason, doesn't matter, she decided to move on. Okay, maybe because she also got married at that early age, and she neither one of you have experienced any other relationship, any other thing, and now she felt, or you feel, that, oh, I've lost something. I've only experienced one woman, or she experienced whatever else that comes to the mind. These are natural and normal things that comes to mind. So jubilate, celebrate. You're free, and you're only 29 years old. For heaven's sake, that is the time you should be married for the first time, from now to 35, for the first time. But you've already done it. So, which means you now have a second chance to find another woman with different attributes, which right now you're not the same person as you were at with age 19. Your consciousness is developed differently, your personality is developed differently. If it was today, you would not choose that woman anymore. The woman that you chose at age 19, you would not choose her right now the way she was at age 19, because your expectations is different right now. Why? Because your knowledge of yourself is different. Your consciousness has changed. So you know who you are versus who you used to be at age 19. And who you are today would not expect the same standards or qualifications as you expected of a girl at age 19. Right now, you want somebody different. So give yourself that chance and find somebody else and go and enjoy and build a new life. Luckily, you don't have children right now, do you? I hope not. That makes it a little difficult, but otherwise, still, you're in the best time of your life. You're very young, strong, educated, perhaps experienced in many ways, and it's time for you to now find the girl that you really could build another 20 years on that base. Because then, 19, what did you know about yourselves? Let alone know about what kind of girl you wanted. You just took the first thing that was available. She let you have it, so you say, "Oh, great, this is the best one," because that's how we are. Age 19. Don't you remember? From age 17, you want to marry any girl that you see. Oh, she's perfect, because you're in love. You don't understand anything more. That's all you see. Hope that woman, female, I want it. That's perfect. But then later on, you establish criteria and expectations, the standards, and now you have some of that, and you will constantly, update that. But it will be a good time for you to find someone who's more suitable to who you are today. That wasn't, and that's why she left. She can go and do whatever the hell she wants to do, and you shouldn't be concerned about it. And don't get hung up at, I should have what I had 10 years ago. We were children. No, you don't love her the way you did then, and she doesn't love you the way she did then. That was a different love because you were a different person. And now you have lucked out. She's out of your life, and you can go and find someone far more suitable, intelligent, and, in the way that you guys could be more compatible. Because you had nothing to be compatible to at age 19. Now you have some expectations, something to offer, and something to expect. And go for it. Yeah, you shouldn't care about that either. 10 years, 20 years, who cares? It wasn't a good marriage anyhow, or if it was, whatever it was, it's not now. So move on. Don't imprison yourself in the memory of something that someday you loved it. Look at the actuality of it now. The way she treats you and the way it is, the relationship, nothing to write home about. So let it go. Locked out. Go find so many beautiful women out there. Amazing. Go enjoy yourself. It's just the beginning of your life. Everywhere you see, says, hello, Meran, 25 male, Ethiopia. Here, I lost the motivation to date now. Where did you lose it? Go back and find it. What do you mean you lost the motivation to date now? I focus on my work, but I don't think I'm going to get married or find a woman. Well, that's what you think, and that's fine. You can think what you want. But just at this moment, you don't want to get married, don't get married. Enjoy your life, build your life, build your business, whatever it is that you do. Be happy. There's no obligation for you to have a girlfriend right now. Do the stuff that you got to do. Hmm? When it's time, you will. When you meet her, it'll hit you like a brick, ton of brick. And then you say, oh, I want to have a girlfriend now. Okay. Um, Bilal says, I'm 15 years old and I'm from Canada. Oh, my goodness. Canadian. Uh, Dosti says, my question was, I still get attacked with false memories. I don't understand what false memories means. I mean, is memory is memory. What's false about it? Is memory. So what does it have to do with anything? I'm better in ignoring it, but still, I want to know how it works. I've got lots of videos on the whole concept of HOCD, and you will find your answers when you go through the discussions that I've had, and also the links of psychologists and psychotherapists like Dr. Philipson, Dr. Jan Weiner. Watch them and find your answer in their conversations. And you don't necessarily have to have a specific question answer, but through the knowledge and description and conversation about the topic, you will find your answer. Through education, you will find your answer. You know, it's like in math when you learn 2 + 2 = 4 and +1 is equal 5, and divided by 2 is 2.5. You have the concept. So then, from this concept and understanding and educating yourself, then you can do any kind of a multiplication or division or addition or subtraction. It's not have to be, oh, I know 2 + 2 is 4. Now somebody got to teach me 3 + 2 is 5. And somebody got to teach me what is 8 + 9. Well, you have the concept, you can figure out what 8 + 9 is. Just learn and educate yourself about the knowledge, the concept. Same thing here. If you watch those videos and the psychologists' videos and interviews that they've done, and the links I've provided in my videos, then you'll be able to figure out the answer to the questions that you may be having rather than looking specifically for that. But in any case, I don't know what false memories means. Memory is dead anyhow. There's nothing there. It's just a memory of echo of something that you remember something. But what is false? Either memory or not memory. What's a false memory? I don't get it. Maybe you can educate me. So let's explain. NJ is female 30. Thank you for that, NJ. But it says feeling unworthy. If you talk like this, I got to get my ugly stick and write your name on. There's a famous ugly stick that everybody knows about it. If you don't take care of yourself and disrespect yourself and don't honor yourself, don't love yourself, then that ugly stick, I'll show up at your door when the flights are, open up. And then you guys get a beating, provided you have your motorcycle helmet on so you won't get hurt, but you will get the message. What is this feeling unworthy? Why? How could you feel unworthy? Who gives you the worth? Who is this person or people or things that makes you feel worthy? Somebody else got to tell you you're worthy? The action or attention of somebody else makes you worthy? The action and attention of who will make them feel worthy? Where do they come from that they could distribute worthiness or unworthiness by their action or attentions towards you? Who qualifies them to be the ones who could give you value and action or interaction that gives you value and worthiness? All your worth and value is in your existence, is in your abilities. The fact that you're communicating concern about you is the one that tells you you're worthy. If you weren't worthy, you wouldn't be asking this question. If you didn't think you're worthy, you wouldn't be even saying, I feel unworthy. That means you know that you are worthy, you should be worthy, and you know that you are great. That's why you're questioning, why don't I feel what I should be feeling? So you're aware of what you should be feeling, which means you believe in your guts that you are worthy, but you're surprised, why don't I feel worthy? Because there's a contradiction. I know I'm worthy, I don't feel worthy. Why? Which means the awareness of the fact that you feel you're not worthy is because there's a contradiction between what you believe you are, which is worthy, and how you feel, which means you're worthy. Can we put that question aside then? Now let me see what the hell you're talking about here. Now we get to the meat of exactly what I was saying. So you're expecting your worth and value come from some dumb shit that have left you, and his attention to you makes you worthy. That's it. This whole fucking world that you're in, that when your mom and dad were procreating, about 30 million sperms was created, and you were the only one who succeeded and beat all the other sperms, and you came into this world, the chosen one, the strongest one. That doesn't tell you you're worthy. This idiot's attention will tell you that you're worthy. Yeah? That's how it works. Everything else, all the people who were involved in raising you and giving you love and attention and feed you and make sure you turn someone who's educated and knows thing or two and lives and knows how to negotiate this life, none of that makes you realize how worthy and how much attention you got. But this idiot's attention is the only thing that then makes this world worthy of noticing, huh? So we start with you. You got to learn and understand that definitely you're the chosen one of the 8 billion chosen ones who have had the chance to be given life, to be born, to experience this journey. That's why you're worthy to begin with. And another thing, regardless of you know me or not, regardless of you know anybody or anybody knows you in the world, whatever you do is affecting other people's lives that you haven't even met and you don't even know they exist. It's a ripple effect. Anything you do does something and affects all over the world, as subtle as it may be. So you're very worthy to me. You're very worthy to many people who you don't even know and they don't even know you. You shouldn't be looking your worthiness in someone's attention. You should be looking your worthiness in your meaning to this world, far beyond that jerk who doesn't or does pay attention to you. Hmm? You've got bigger role in this world than just being sitting somewhere for someone to pay attention to you. Your actions are completing this world, keeps this world running smoothly, properly as it should, keeps it in orbit. Every one of our actions affects everybody else. Look at what we're doing today. I don't know any one of you. I've never seen any one of you, but I feel you. I feel all of you. We're trying to exchange information that changes your lives, changes my life. I learn more. I learn about your situations. I ponder. I come up with new things, able to explain it better. Mm. So your worthiness is not in the hand of one person or two person. You're worthy just because you're here. That's the end of your worthiness. No question about that. The rest of it is experiences that we get, expectations that we get, and disappointments that we get. So the hell with it. Next. It says he left me after 3 years, turned down the marriage, and marrying other women. So he's an idiot. Okay, that's what he prefers. So what? I know her, looking at her and always asking what is not there in me, why he does that. You probably were too available to him, and he's not a confident man. He's probably he's not sure of himself, and he wants to feel that he is valued by somebody that he is not having or is not with to pay attention to him. So she probably didn't pay so much attention to him and wasn't available. So he's being a weak man, went after something that is not paying attention to him. That doesn't take anything away from you. His choices does not change you. His choices is reflection on him, not on you. You think because you chose somebody else, you're not as good or valued. In fact, it tells you that his value is that girl. Your value is beyond that. That's how you should think. You're going about it in the wrong way. Yeah, you feel insulted, but insulted from what? You can't be insulted from some kind of a uneducated person. You can't be insulted if you're a pianist and you play piano. You can't be insulted by someone who doesn't know how to play piano. Just because, oh, you play shitty, you don't know how to play. Now I'm insulted. We all get insulted. But insulted from where? Don't look at the meaning of the word or the action. See where it came from. It came from an idiot who doesn't know what piano is, let alone telling you if you play good or not. But he said, oh, you don't play good. Okay, so who are you? What is your knowledge about notes and piano and music that you can say something? If Mozart comes and tells you, hey, you don't play that good, that means something. If Mozart says you play very good, that means something. But some idiot passing by say, you don't play good. Well, what does that make you? You say I don't play good, that makes you a good player? You don't even know what piano is. Same thing. The guy chooses some other girl that suddenly makes you insulted. Why? It just makes him idiot that chose somebody else over you, because you should consider yourself the best choice. Once you do that, then you will look at him as an idiot who didn't choose the best choice. But you're not looking at yourself as best choice. That's the problem. First, bring that value and belief and truth to yourself that I am special and I am great. And if this idiot didn't choose you, that means he's an idiot. His understanding is to that. As I said many times before, you go to a jewelry store, diamond ring, zirconian, crystal, and glass, all the same, look the same. If somebody chooses the crystal one, just because he chose the crystal one doesn't diminish the value of the real diamond one. It just means he didn't know better to tell the difference and to choose a better quality. He just chose a bad quality, lower quality. That's his level of understanding is. But the diamond is not going to say, oh, I'm insulted. He chose that one. Who's he that his choices will evaluate or devaluate diamond? Diamond is diamond, regardless of who chooses. You are who you are. You are diamond. It doesn't matter. He chooses you or he chooses somebody else. It doesn't elevate or bring your level down. And it doesn't elevate anybody else, because who's he? You are the one who matters. What you think about yourself that matters, not somebody else. Go find somebody else. Give chance to somebody else. The hell with him. All right. Well, just if you already know this explanation, that already the answer is in the explanation. That means you have OCD. It's no different than leaving your apartment and thinking the oven is on. So you come and check the oven. You go out and say, oh, was it on? Did I check? You come back again. You check again. And you go back again. And you come and check again just to make sure. OCD, French call it doubting disease. It doesn't mean just because you want assurance of how something is, and if you don't get that assurance, it doesn't mean that that thing is in a different state. If you don't check the oven, that doesn't mean the oven is on. The oven is either on or off. Once you check it, if it's off, you leave. But you want to check again. Just maybe I didn't check good. Just want to be assured that what I checked was right. And then you want to check what you checked again to make sure that what you checked for the second time was exactly as it should have been. It's off. This is a disorder of OCD that you need assurance, you doubt everything, and so on. The same thing in the memory. It's no different than you're driving and you think you hit someone because the person was there and you damn sure there was no sound, there's no connection, there's no sound of hitting your car to anything. But because you passed and it was close by, you think, what if I hit that person? And because you also have a responsibility OCD and you don't want to harm anyone, you're a good citizen, you're a good person, you actually would drive around few blocks away and come back and see how far you were from the curb and how far the person was from the curb, and could you have possibly hit that with your car. And you do that a couple of times to make sure that no, I didn't. Why? Because you just need assurance and you don't remember and you don't trust what you remember. That's a glitch in the brain, which you need to retrain and rewire your brain to not seek assurance and just go with the logic of what was. You were driving on the road. That person was on the pedestrian place. There's no way you would have hit it. You didn't even hear any bump or anything hitting your car. But you imagine, because you're perfectionist, you want everything to be holy shores. Like you want to be in the center of the lane to make sure that you didn't hit anything. But if you're close to the sidewalk, even though it's still far away from hitting anything, you say, maybe I hit. This maybe is a doubting disease. That's why you check your door 5 million times. Did I lock it? So in this case, all you do is just, when you go into your memory, first of all, don't go into the memory. And if you go and you don't remember something or doubt the memory now, don't give a damn. Say, I am who I am today, and my choices defines me, and my veto and choices today is very clear to me. And that false memory, the reason that it actually bothers me, because it's against my values. And what's against my values, that means I'm not what the memory may even suggest, the false memory. So that puts you at ease. But if you ever did go into the memory, what you do, you simply clearly remind yourself, this is how the memory was, so there would be no chance for the false memory to present itself as if it was the actual memory. And you establish that once, and that's it. And next time, if such a thing comes to your mind, just say, I've already dealt with it. I'm not going to deal with it again. Because otherwise, it's a doubting disease. You constantly have to do that. You don't fall into that trap. So, and basically, you don't perceive anything. You don't go into the memory, and memory is dead. Whatever it is in it is dead. And remembering something when you are in the glitch of OCD, it's futile, because you can't rely on your whole behavior about being sure, and you constantly want assurance for anything, let alone something that you can't even see it in front of you and it's a memory. It's going to help you to doubt more and more and more, because you always say, oh, do I remember it right? Because you have no tangible thing in front of you to actually measure it against. So it'll be a vortex that is constantly going to go in there to try to fix it. And because it's a memory, you can't modify it, but you constantly at the same time doubt it. So you're constantly going to go in there and reminisce. Don't. Just leave it. So I don't give a shit. I am what I am today. My choices and vetoes define me, and that's what defines me. This is my preference. This is what I think. That's how it should be, and that's all. And Harvey says, thanks, Miriam, but I don't want to love any woman beside Julia. Why not? If Julia can love another man, why can't you? What's wrong with that? How do you see yourself? Are you going to go in front of her, kneel in front of her, put your head at her feet and say, please accept me? Is that the kind of man you are? Huh? That's going to be a shit of a life, isn't it? She's going to shit all over your head. You're allowing yourself to not live, but you allow her to live. Like you accept the fact she can do whatever she wants, but you don't allow yourself to do what you should be doing. If she can do it, you can do it. Why would you ever want a woman who doesn't want to be with you? Why would you ever want a woman who goes and lives lives with you and then leaves you, goes and lives with another man, and then you still think you should want her? Why? What are your criterias? Why don't you grow a pair? Where's the respect for you? Why you should think so low of yourself? Hmm? What is next? You're gonna go make her look good and then send her off to that guy? Is that how it's gonna end? Because that's how she's gonna use you. Oh, can you give me a ride to here? I can't. And then you find that she got a ride from you to buy a gift for that guy. Is that where you want to be? To feel really terrible about yourself? No, see it clearly. She's not worth it. She's not meeting up your standard. She did not hold the end at the end of the bargain of a committed relationship. So she's not no longer qualified. You let her go. Why? She doesn't deserve it. Have some respect for yourself. Wish her well, but also wish yourself well. 10 years together, there's nothing else in there. At age 19, yeah, a couple of years should have lasted. That's it. 2, 3 years. Because then you were in development, you were changing your consciousness. At this point, neither one of you can satisfy each other mentally or whatever it is that you plan in your lives. So right now you may be hurting because you all the things that goes into your mind. But believe me, 100%, as the time passes by and you open your eyes to other women and other amazing qualities that they have, and when you actually find someone really nice, you're going to say, amazing. I'm so glad. You may not say it now, but 2, 3 years from now, not that it should take that long for you to forget it. No, not at all. I'm saying 2, 3 years when you're in a committed relationship, you love someone, you got to know someone thoroughly, on conscious level, you bond with her, you will say, oh, thank God. That wasn't going to work anyhow. You just don't want to see it. It's already happened because it didn't work, but you don't want to see the actuality of it. You want to live in your memory. You still think of her as how she was in the memory. That's past. She's not the same girl anymore. You don't want to believe it because you think this girl is the same girl that you used to know. That girl that left you is not the same girl that you married. It's a different girl now. That's why you don't want her. You don't think you're missing the girl that you married. That girl you had, and it's always going to be in your memory. The girl that left you is no longer the girl you married. She's changed. Different character, different expectations, different qualities, and does not measure up to you anymore. If she did, she would have stayed. The fact that you guys are not together, that means you're not compatible anymore. And definitely she's not. Why? Because her actuality today is not what is it in your memory. Her actuality is somebody that you don't want. But you just can't see it because you don't see her. You see her, but you perceive her. You look at her, but you perceive how it used to be when she was 19, 20, 21. See her actuality, not how she used to be. Take that out. See her, who she is today, how she behaves, how she treats you, what she has done, all the lies, all the bullshit. And then you can see she's not qualified. Why would you ever want to be with a woman like that? Think about it. The unstoppable force, Brandon, 25, London, male. Thank you for that. Should I wait until January to get back on dating apps to find a girlfriend, or look for one if I'm not financially comfortable, broke, want to hire a photographer for pictures? No. Okay, I understand. You don't have much money right now, and you think the only way to attract girls and have a relationship is when you have money because you want to offer them things and provide for them a little bit, dates, money, this and that. And you think that's why the girl would go out with you. Yeah, there are some girls who go out with you because you buy them dinner or you have some money, or they want to rely on certain kind of benefits. But that's not all the girls. Girls who are really looking for companion, they're looking for someone that they can bond unconsciously. So you just go ahead and talk with people. But the fact is, you go to the conclusion when somebody responds to your, let's say, application, or you meet someone, quickly you disqualify the whole experience, because you say, but I'm going to meet her, then I want to go out with her. I don't have the money, then she's going to leave me. So better don't ask her at all. Why simply just ask her, get to know her. When you guys get to know each other, instead of asking her right away, would you like to go on a date? No, get to know each other and exchange consciousness levels. And once you get to know each other, you will like each other based on who you are, not based on how much money you have or what kind of car you drive. Based on who you are, she will like you. And if she does, she doesn't care if you're going to take her to McDonald's. No, don't ever take that. McDonald's, or you're going to take her to a fast food restaurant, or you're going to go get a sandwich and walk in the park, or you're going to go to a fancy dinner. She doesn't care, because her reasoning to be with you is not based on some kind of a fringe benefits. It's not based on any kind of a tangible benefits. It's based on how you make her feel, how you treat her, how you make her feel about herself, and how supportive you are, how you're interacting with her, and how your interaction makes a difference in her life. So that's the kind of girl instead of waiting for that, thinking all the girls are the same, so therefore I have to have money and be economically before I go on a date, then you will be maybe sitting for a while. No, change your criterias, and don't boast or don't try to impress them by anything that you have, like money and stuff like that. Just try to get to know each other like a friends. You don't expect anything. Just be friends. Talk about it and get to know each other. And then eventually you may decide to go out, both of you, and that has nothing to do pretty much with how much money you have. What if you had money and you invite this girl and you become boyfriend, girlfriend, then you lose some of your money? Then she has the right to leave? What are you going to do then? So the money is important, but it's not really as important as you make it to be. Yeah, you go and make money because you have to make money to have something to eat, pay your rent, and be able to provide or be able to kind of buy gifts and this and that, the normal things. But it shouldn't be prerequisite before you get to know somebody else. Yeah. So go ahead and enjoy. It's going to take time to find the right person anyhow. So might as well as join now. January. Just do with what you can right now. And then if you have more money, then you'll take her to a nicer restaurant. And if she can't understand that, the hell with her. Let her go. That's not a real good girlfriend anyhow. Because life has ups and downs. And she should be able to be prepared for that flexibility. That's right, Dosti. You live with your vetoes and choices. And this is your choice and preference. And that's it. Doesn't matter what the brain says, what memory, this and that. None of that matters. What you want and how you see yourself and what your level of and values are. That's all. That's how you live. Not by suggestion of the memory or false memory or this memory or that memory or what the brain says, or none of that shit. You are not the brain. So it doesn't matter what things are at work there. You're beyond the brain. So your choices and vetoes define you. That's all. Annie says, I'm pissed at the way my boyfriend left me. I can't talk to him, but I'm really. Annie, how old are you? Come on, guys. I need that information before I get on to your questions. So put that in and I'll get back to your question. And Dilgani says, Mehran, Salam, 24 May, London. What top advice would you give to a male who has a lot of pressure on his back to achieve a lot by parents, society, etc.? You don't have to listen to what the society, this and that expect. You just do your best for whatever it is that you want to be best at. Do your best at whatever you're doing, and that's it. Don't expect more from yourself. You can only do so much. It doesn't matter what other people expect. You have a certain level. You got to have a balanced life, certain amount of accomplishments, certain amount of studies, certain kind of fun, certain kind of time, the way you spend your time, and you have a balanced life. Otherwise, if you want to constantly comply to what the society or parents expect from you unreasonably, then you will not have a life. So just do your best as much as you can. And certain things you say, well, dad, mom, I can't do this. I can do these things. The rest of it is a little bit too much, and it's not for me. Make another child. Get busy. You have too much time. You're spending too much time focusing on me. Go make another one and fuss with that one. Annie says, I'm 23 years old. Where from, Annie? God damn it. Give me that information in one shot. Where are you from? Where are you watching these videos? Johnny is male, 18, Ukraine. Thank you for that. And Mystery is 61. Thank you for that. And Annie says Pakistan. Okay. Now, 2 years later, we got all the information from Annie. So Annie is 23 from Pakistan, and she says, I'm pissed the way that the boyfriend left me. I can't talk to him, but I'm really frustrated. I want to say a lot of things and let him know what he did to me, but I know that won't change anything. My boyfriend got engaged and left me suddenly. It's been 7 months, but I'm unable to move on. Why? What are you waiting? Are you waiting for them to divorce and get the same shit back? If that shit couldn't make up his mind at the first round, now you want to take him when he's more shit now? Get crumbs? You disqualify him. So you weren't able to appreciate me, so fuck off. Get lost. And you say, I can't focus on anything. That's on you. He's not the one who's stopping your focus. It's on you that you don't have enough value for yourself, that you're actually bending down for an asshole like that, who leaves you and gets engaged to somebody else. What kind of honesty is that? So at least it should have been quite a while before he gets engaged to somebody else, or whatever. It didn't work out. So big deal. The world is not begin or end with him. He's just another idiot like every one of us. He's just here, and he's now found something that he thinks is important to him. Okay, go. But you shouldn't be wanting him, and the fact that you can't focus on him on anything else, that's not his fault. That's on you. That you give this some kind of importance to take away your attention from things that could be really important to your life. So whatever you're losing in life, time, education, opportunity, or job that you can't focus, you're losing it, it's on you. You're the guilty of that. You're not protecting your lifestyle and thinking what? Somebody's watching you, that you're miserable, and it's going to report to him, and he's going to say, oh dear, you love me so much, I come back. Fuck him. Go on with your life. That's stupid what you're doing. You see, you say, I never felt so happy the way I felt with him even before I met it. Well, what the hell does that mean? That what you felt then, even though you say it was very happy and all that, it's not now. He's not treating you in any way that you would feel happy. So why would you want him back? This is not the same person. That, okay. But that person didn't leave you. This idiot did. The person who has left you cannot provide that kind of atmosphere where you felt happy when you did feel happy. So why would you want this guy back? It's not the same guy. You see, the thing is, you want justice. You want him to come and say, oh, I'm sorry, I shouldn't have done that. You're great, but I got to go anyhow. What do you want? People change. And you got to understand, when they change, your standards and your qualifying him then also changes, must change. Therefore, they are no longer qualified. They're disqualified. When you disqualify him, look at his actuality, that he's no longer qualified, and it can't bring you happiness, and he's actually done something that made you really pissed off, then you say, the fuck him. He's an idiot. I don't want to have anything to do with him. That's how you think. And you go on and make a better version of yourself, however you are, become more fit, become more successful, become more educated, whatever it is that you can do, better version of yourself, offer it to somebody better than this idiot, and have a higher standards for the next one. Choose better. And don't be so available until the arrangement of marriage and all that according to tradition is done. When you're too available, then the man thinks, oh, maybe this one is available, I go for the next one. don't just you know what I'm talking about. So yeah, many things could be magical moments in our lives, but just because something was magical, that doesn't mean it'll always be magical. Or if it's magical now, it depends how they behave and how they create that certain atmosphere that can be magical. This guy is no longer capable and is not doing it, so he's not really capable of making it magical for you anywhere as he did once before. So therefore, you should disqualify him. He's no longer a magic maker. So get rid of him. He's an idiot. Go find somebody much better, and they're there. Come on now, don't be like that. Yeah, you can. If you can't sleep, that's your fault, because you're giving it too much value. There's no value there. You should sleep great. You should feel great. The world is open for you. You're only 23 years old. What do you know? You're at the beginning of your life. You're young, beautiful. Do your best you can do. Be fit, be healthy. And there'll be guys. Educate yourself. Get a good job. Get a good education. Take good care of yourself. The guys will flock around you. Just be patient. Don't be so naive. Yeah. Bilal, just watch the videos and watch the videos of the links of the psychologists, psychotherapists that I've provided there, Dr. Philipson, Dr. Jan Weiner, Dr. Schwartz. Read and study and learn. This is your chance to learn about your brain. If you never had HOCD, you would have never learned the things that you can learn about your brain and movement of the brain, and you will be very happy that you know all these things, because not too many people know about the function and malfunction of this, and that's where the problems are in life. So when you know how this works, you become more capable of dealing and managing the malfunctions and disorders, and you become more confident in yourself. Because remember, people who have OCD and HOCD are generally above average intelligent. And when they go through OCD and HOCD and things like that, and subsequent OCD, and they learn about it, come out of it, they become humongously more intelligent and more confident and better than ever before. This is the opportunity to learn something that not too many people learn. So take that by the horn and deal with it. Okay, guys, it's been 2 hours and 40 minutes and 9 seconds, 10 seconds, 11 seconds, keep going on. It's been a pleasure to be here. I hope you enjoyed as much as I did. It's time for me to say I love you all. Thank you very much for being here and giving me the opportunity to share a thing or two with you. Don't forget to promote the channel. Don't forget that I'm available on Skype, mind@6truth.com, and you can make an appointment with me. And for new clients, for 1 hour appointment, I will throw in another 1 hour, and it will be 2 hours appointment for you guys. And then I look forward to talk to you, if not tonight, which probably not, maybe, I'm not sure, next week, 1 o'clock Vancouver time. And in the meantime, make sure to promote the channel and talk about it in chat rooms and social medias, and take bits and pieces of my videos, 1 minute ones, put it on TikTok, and put my, what is it, the link for my site, and promote for my channel, not the site, for the channel, and promote the YouTube channel, and lets people know, look, today, with all the qualities that we talked about, we only had 20 people. It should be 2,000, okay? So do something about it. If you're benefiting from it, and it's all for you, free of charge, you know that. It's been, for years, 3,000 videos, over 1,500 live streams, and so much time and effort and help. So do your part if you want other people also to be helped, and let them know about this channel. Give it exposure and help us all out. So in the meantime, again, love you all. Thank you very much. And in the meantime, be good to yourself and to the others. I'll talk to you soon. Bye for now.